Morning everyone. Last night I showed you the view from our van and you couldn't see anything because it was absolutely pitch black. Well, here it is this morning. It could be one of the most spectacular views that we've had so far. Here's the other side. Got a friend here. It's quite a busy road. This is the E37, which connects Bergen and Alesund. It's also the main road connecting some of the towns on the west coast in the fjord country. Just trying to give you a bit of an idea of the scale of this. So here's this side of the valley, and I'm going to zoom in on these little dots. So there's the sheep. It just keeps on going and going.
I'm wrong.
Just on our next ferry. We're becoming quite familiar with these ferries now. We've had 5 or 6 so far. But this could be one of the most impressive vistas we have. There's a little friend going in the other direction here. They're so efficient. It's unbelievable how efficient they are. We just drove straight onto it. It was there waiting, and then about 15-20 seconds later we were moving. Now, I know that's good timing on our part. We were lucky, but these things go every 15 minutes and you don't just cross and then catch the same one in return. There are 2, one at either side, and they're constantly switching over. So maybe it's actually more like 10 minutes they swap over.
What do you think, Wayne?
Welcome to Alesund, we've made it. It's evening here and Harriet is on the lookout for somewhere that we can have dinner. Ideally somewhere that's dog friendly, a perennial challenge whilst we're on our campervan travels. Could have another Indian, that's a good option. Fortunately our Italian place was closing. One thing we've noticed here is restaurants do tend to stay open quite late, although we have just tried an Italian that closes at 8 o'clock, which is remarkably early for this part of the world where a lot of the restaurants have still been open 9, 10 o'clock. And this is Alesund. It's small, it's quaint, and it looks different. It looks different to many of the places that we've been so far, and there's good reason for that. So if you look over my shoulder here, a lot of these beautiful buildings were rebuilt at the start of the 20th century. There was a great fire here in 1904 which basically burnt down everything, and the entire city, with the exception of just a few remaining buildings, had to be rebuilt. And now you've got this Art Nouveau city, and it prides itself on it. It's part of its identity, really. Those of you who've watched the videos on Stavanger and Bergen will recognise the colourful facades, but these spires and points and turrets that characterise these buildings are because of this rebuilding, because of this fire. Clues to the fire and the rebuilding efforts, even in buildings that look many years older. And it all centres around this harbour. But it's not really a harbour. The city is built on islands, and this is just part of the sea separating some of the islands. Naturally, there's a close connection with the water, and it's bridges that connect the different parts of the city and provide a place for a patient wife to wait for a slow husband. Of the places we've been so far, Alesund's probably one of our favourites. We were lucky to get it on a night that was so calm, so tranquil, that the city just felt relaxed. But back in 1940, it wasn't the case. This actually became a hotbed of resistance against Nazi occupation in Norway. Alesund actually became known as Little London, such was the resistance shown here. Thousands of British and Norwegian soldiers made the crossing from Alesund to the Shetland Isles, Orkney and other Scottish ports. It played a significant role in keeping Norway connected with the Allies, and the route and those who didn't make the crossing are poignantly recognised here. Any of you who know me well will know that Harriet must be in charge of logistics. We definitely wouldn't have made it here otherwise. and she has surpassed herself, I must say, this evening. We couldn't have got a more peaceful, relaxing spot. Again, right on the edge of the fjord. So we're going to get to bed. We'll have the waves lapping against the rocks, maybe a few seabirds calling, and that's about it really for company this evening in Alesund. So hope you enjoyed today, and we'll be back again tomorrow where we've got a particularly special road that you may well have seen before coming up. See you tomorrow.